Good evening everyone, and welcome to a new video on the channel. As usual, please do remember to like, to comment and subscribe as we continue to get this brand new channel off the ground. It is Wednesday the 14th of January, and this evening we're going to have the second attempt at getting played the match between Blyth Town and Redcar Athletic in the Northern Premier League Division 1 East. The last time these two tried in December, the game was called off a few seconds before the kick-off time. Let's head through the time tunnel and see if we have more luck tonight.
Now keep left.
So here we are in Blyth, and coming into tonight's game, Blyth Town are bottom of the Northern Premier League Division 1 East. They fell to the bottom after their near neighbours Blyth Spartans won away at Bridlington Town last night. And Redcar Athletic are top of the Northern Premier League, 5 points clear of second place Emley. So on paper it looks as if Redcar would be the heavy favourites for this one, but we did have two very tough games with Blyth last season. Both of us obviously came up from the Northern League, us as champions and Blyth via the playoffs. It was 1-1 in the game over here at Gateway Park, and a slender 1-0 victory which saw us actually clinch promotion at Green Lane. So we're not expecting anything but a typical northeast derby tonight. So let's head into Gateway Park and see how it all pans out. And here we are inside Gateway Park, which is pretty much unchanged from its Northern League days. All the accommodation on one side of the field. Let's just zoom in there. You've got a small seated stand and a small covered stand, and nothing else other than hard standing around the rest of the pitch. You've got some 3G five-a-side courts over the back there, and you've got the highlight of the ground, which is this large clubhouse over here on the left, which we'll go and check out in a minute. And so just a quick look around 15 minutes before kick-off here at Blyth Town. You've got this decking area outside the clubhouse. You've got the Scran van, which is over there, and does a decent selection of hot food. As you can see, we're not exactly packing them in tonight. And then over here you've got the main clubhouse building, which is in two sections. So as you can see, that's the main bar with a pool table in there, and then you've got the railed off section here right at the back there. I think you can see that's a coned off area for us and the referee, match officials, etc. So it's like essentially a dividing wall building, and that's pretty much it for the facilities here at Gateway Park. And the teams are coming out for tonight's game. Blyth Town wearing their usual all royal blue kit, and Redcar Athletic a slight variation on their home strip tonight with the usual red and navy blue shirts, but red shorts and socks this time rather than navy blue. So, the second time of asking, it looks as if we're actually going to get this game underway here at Gateway Park tonight. And in front of what it has to be said is quite a sparse attendance, we're underway here at Gateway Park. Redcar on the attack. Adam Boys, and gather second attempt by Hunter. All picked up by Johnson. And it's going to be out for the first corner of the game to Redcar Athletic. So it's going to be John Howard with the first corner of the game for the Steelmen. And headed over by Rio May. Alex Phil on the right crosses in and wins the first corner of the game for Blyth. So it's going to be Cameron Gascoigne with the first corner of the game for Blyth Town. Plays it into the centre. And cleared. Foster with a cross for Blyth. Bartlett plays the ball through to Fuster. And the flag is up. That one looked a little bit tight. Louis Johnson on the right. Plays into Fletcher. And Boys. And it's turned in by Brad Fuster. Fuster gets the final touch, and it is 1-0 to the Steelmen. I think the ball was probably going into the net anyway, but it is Brad Fuster who's got the final touch. It is 1-0 to the Steelmen here at Gateway Park. Ball played forward to Fuster. And he was looking for a foul but didn't get one, but Redcar's still on the move with Louis Johnson. Fuster. And it's a great strike and a good save from Hunter to force a corner. So it is going to be Fuster himself with the corner. First one on this side of the field. Crosses inside. Flicked by Hunter and just about got away with it for another corner. Almost managed to flick it into his own net, but it's going to be another corner to the Steelmen. Going to be Howard this time with the corner. Howard again flapped at rather by Hunter, but Blyth get away with it for now. Picked up by Brian Taylor. Fuster. Fuster. Louis Johnson. John Howard plays the ball up. Johnson. And strikes and Boys. And hits the post. And just about Blyth survive again, and way over the bar from Howard. Adam Boys. John Howard. Louis Johnson. Johnson again. Ball played through and a corner. So Howard with the, it's going to be with the latest corner for Steelmen. Into the middle and played out for another one. Howard again with a Steelman corner. Into the centre, flapped at again by Hunter and hooked clear by Hallen, but only as far as Taylor. Oscar Fletcher plays in Fuster. Fuster inside, and a good save from Hunter this time. And once again the flag was up, and some questionable decisions. Ball played forward to Adam Boys. Waiting for support, and it arrives from Oscar Fletcher. Fletcher goes for goal, but it's lacks the power to trouble Hunter. So with a throw, trying to find Fletcher, but it's picked up by Mallon. Boys. Howard. Fuster. Fuster crosses in. Louis Johnson. Shot blocked. Back to Fletcher. Johnson. Loses his footing this time. And the referee has blown the half-time whistle. And despite their relative dominance, Redcar just have a single goal lead, slender lead to take in at the break here at Gateway Park. The first half ends Blyth Town 0, Redcar Athletic 1. Half time then, Blyth Town 0, Redcar Athletic 1, and for all their dominance, not to mention a few dodgy offside decisions, Redcar have been unable to get the crucial second goal to put this game to bed, because I can't really see Blyth coming back if Redcar do get a second goal. But while they've not been able to add that second, the game is still in the balance. You can't fault the work rate or effort from Blyth Town, but however the gap in class between the two sides is actually clear to see on the pitch. If Redcar can keep doing what they're doing and be a little bit more clinical in front of goal, then there should only be one outcome, but while it's 1-0 you can never be entirely sure. So let's see what happens in the second 45. And we're back underway here at Gateway Park. Fletcher bays the ball forward and Adam Boys follows in, and Hunter clears only as far as Fletcher. And a similar pattern straight away at the start of this half with the home side under pressure. Ball played up to Louis Johnson on the right. Plays out now to Brian Taylor. Taylor goes for goal, but it's well off target. Another free kick for Blyth out on the right. Once again it's going to be Gascoigne. Plays it into the box, and Masfari doesn't get a firm hold of it, but it gets cleared nonetheless. Giroud on the ball. Gibson. And the danger cleared. And Buddle now plays the ball in, but this time Redcar counter attack. Fletcher plays the ball up to Fuster on the left. Fuster goes for goal but held by Hudson. Fuster on the left having won the ball back. Brian Taylor. Rio May. Danny Lay. Lay plays the ball up looking for Brian Taylor, and he's got the ball. Plays it across and cut out for a corner. It's going to be Fuster with the corner for the Steelmen. And dealt with by the Blyth defence. but only as far as Guru, who recycles the ball to Blyth. Blyth plays it forward and unable to be kept in. So it's another corner for the Steelmen to be taken by Fuster. Fuster into the middle, punch clear by Hudson, picked up by Taylor. Nathan Guru plays the ball into the box and cleared. Free kick for Blyth on the halfway line, taken as usual by Gascoigne. Alex Phil, and the ball is somehow kept out, and it's a corner to Redcar. And after Alex Phil played the ball across the face of goal, it looked odds on that Blyth were going to equalise, but all they've got is a corner. So a corner to Blyth Town to be taken by Gascoigne. And a goal line clearance and another corner for Blyth. Redcar living dangerously for the moment. So Gascoigne with the latest Blyth corner. This time to the edge of the box. And another corner for Blyth as they put the Steelmen defence under some pressure. So a third successive Blyth corner. And this time gathered by Masfari, and that's a wake-up call for the Steelmen that they'll do well to heed as they look to break. Alex Phil, and wide of the target from the former Sunderland RCA man. Giroud goes for goal and just over the bar. And the referee blows the final whistle here at Gateway Park. It's been a long way from a vintage performance, but the Steelmen have got the job done, and they come home with the 3 points as it finishes here. Blyth Town 0, Redcar Athletic 1. I've been joined after this 1-0 win by Carl Jarrett. Wasn't pretty at times, Carl, but we got the job done.
Yeah, delighted with the 3 points. Very hard place to come on a Wednesday night, coming up to Blyth Town. You know, speak about non-league style tonight. You know, lads at work all day, travelling up, it's stuck in traffic. People turn up after 7 o'clock, halfway through a team talk. Not great preparation for us, but that's not down to the players. You know, that's things you can't help. It's just non-league. That. But the game itself, I thought the first half were excellent. You know, we moved the ball about really well. We made a few. I think I brought 4 different lads in from the Richmond game that we wanted to work on. We felt like we could score goals tonight and obviously be defensively a lot stronger tonight. In the first half, it showed that. You know, we had plenty of chances, just creating them, just didn't get that final touch or that final shot off. You know, we were sloppy at times, and we got in at 1-0, looked comfortable. Second half, obviously come out, created two chances within the first 2-3 minutes. Should have went 2-3-0 up, and we haven't took them, and that's give them a bit of a lift. They've made a couple of changes, and then they've put it on us. To be fair, at times, you know, we've defended really well, and I just said to the lads, you're going to come to these places. You know, teams are fighting for their lives at times when we're going to be playing against them, and they're going to make things hard for you. You're not going to score 4, 5, 6 goals sometimes, you know, and you're going to have to defend as a team. And tonight, you know, I'm delighted. I mean, there's 2 goal line clearances there off Bry, and I think JJ, I think it was at the end, who just put the body on the line there and kept it, 1-0 and kept that clean sheet. And the lads have worked out for that clean sheet. I'm over the moon for them, you know, like I said, delighted with the 3 points, delighted with the clean sheet, and delighted with the win.
I think, as you were sort of alluding to in that, really, the difference between this league and the Northern League is that this was a top v bottom clash, but there still wasn't a huge amount between the teams. There are no easy games in this league, are there?
No, and you know, I've said that from the start. I've been in this league plenty of times, and you know, you can be bottom and top, you can be anywhere in this league, and everyone's going to give it a good game. And the pattern is obviously what I've picked up on the, you know, all the north and northeast teams. You know, they all give each other a really good game. You know, and we haven't had an easy one that we've played against up this way. You know, so fair play to them. They kept going. They kept going for the manager, and you know, they'll find themselves unlucky that they didn't put one of them chances in at the end. But like I said, I think if we put our chances away, we run away 6-7 really easy there. But you know, the lads have dug in, and we've got that clean sheet, and we've got the 3 points, and that's the most important thing in football. You know, we'll forget in a week how we played. We just remember the results, and that's the main aim. You know, to try and win most games that we're in. We understand. You know, like I said earlier on, there we changed our shape a little bit tonight with, you know, Guru coming in, and then obviously Boise coming back in, Fletcher coming back in. You know, the squad that we've had tonight, you know, the numbers that we've had, the 16's phenomenal, you know, that we've picked up on it, and it's been brilliant to bring these subs on. You know, and everyone's chipping in, and everyone understands how we want to be going forward. You know, we've got some difficult games coming up midweek as away from home with a lot of travel in it, you know, so we've got to stick together as a squad, and fingers crossed we can get the wins that we need.
And another tough one back at the Hollow on Saturday against Garforth, a team that are in a pretty good run of form right now.
Yeah, I've been and watched them a couple of times, and I know we beat them away from home on that day. We were excellent on that day. You know, I don't see the games being any different. You know, we just got to prep our own team and look at the way we want to play. You know, if I need to bring people out to freshen things up again, because that's the type of squad that I spoke about, what we've got. We can do that at the present minute, because I've got, you know, the 20 lads that I've needed for the first time all season being fit. Quite spoilt on them side of things, and they're all good players, and there's them lights gone out again like did last time.
All right, Carl, well, I think that wraps it up anyway.
No worries.
Well done, cheers.
So it finishes Blyth Town 0, Redcar Athletic 1. And the best thing I guess you can say about that game is that Redcar got the job done and got the 3 points in the bag. But it was anything from a long way from a fluent performance, particularly in the second half. In the first half, I think Redcar did pretty much control the game, limited Blyth to no real opportunities in that first 45, and if they'd been a bit more clinical in front of goal, they could have put the game out of sight before the break. Adam Boyes hit the bar. There were a good few other sort of melees in the box which could have ended with a Redcar player getting on the end of it. But it was a little bit different in the second half. Again, Redcar started well. There was that early chance, which we didn't actually catch on camera, where Adam Boyes had a one-on-one with the keeper and drove it just wide. That was just a couple of minutes into the second half, when I was still sorting the app out to confirm the second half had kicked off, which is something you have to do with the Northern Premier League. So I was busy on the app and didn't catch that. And then there was another one-on-one with Brad Fewster when he was clean through. But apart from that, really in the second half, you know, there were a lot of wayward passes. The final ball wasn't quite what it should have been. A lot of shots that were well off target. And a little bit really of what we saw in the first half of the Richmond Town game recently, with Redcar not looking their fluent selves. And that meant that the longer the game went on, that there was always a chance that Blyth were going to have a bit of a spell where they could have got back into it. And indeed, that's exactly what happened, because they had a spell of pressure in the middle of the half where they forced 3 corners in a row. And as part of that period of play, there were 2 goal line clearances where, you know, we were lucky to get away with conceding. But having said that, you know, we did keep a clean sheet. We've stretched our lead at the top of the table to 8 points and still have 2 games in hand on second place Emley, and we're 10 points clear of third place Matlock Town, who many see as our main challengers, and we're now on the same number of games as them and 10 clear. So it's job done if it wasn't pretty, but it's all about winning at this stage of the season. And obviously the clean sheet is good as well. So that completes a decent night at the office, even though it wasn't the most exciting game to watch, and it was very cold towards the end of that game as well in Blyth. But we'll be back at the Holly Sports Stadium for our next video on Saturday, when Garforth Town are the visitors. The away game at Garforth was probably one of the best away performances of the season so far. On a very windy day, which probably made us feel at home, because it's always like that down at the Hollow for most matches. So we'll see what happens. Garforth are on a great run of form at the moment, currently won 5 out of their last 6 games, so it'll be a tough encounter. Join us back to see what happens there, but until then, thanks for watching tonight.